Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. It was an ordinary day in April 2013. At a residential construction site in Caozhuang Village, Shihu Town, Yangzhou, Jiangsu Province, workers were busy excavating the foundation. Suddenly, a muffled sound came from the ground, and the earth beneath an excavator collapsed, revealing a dark, gaping hole. Curious, the workers approached and peered in. Inside, they could faintly make out a brick and stone structure, suggesting traces of an ancient tomb. Work was immediately halted, and the local cultural relics authorities were notified. Archaeological experts from the Cultural Relics Department quickly arrived at the scene. After a preliminary investigation, they confirmed that the site contained an ancient tomb, likely dating back to the Qing Dynasty, based on the brick and stone construction. Even more surprising, it was not a single burial chamber but a joint tomb with two chambers, labeled Tomb Number 1 and Tomb Number 2. The tomb wasn't large. The main chamber measured only about 3.92 meters long and 3.84 meters wide, far from the grandeur one might expect of an imperial mausoleum. The chamber had partially collapsed, with bricks scattered around, prompting an urgent rescue excavation. As the site was cleared, experts discovered key clues. The bricks used in the tomb matched in material with those of the Sui-era city wall in Jiangdu, confirming the tomb's origin. The layout also became clearer: a main chamber, east and west side chambers, a corridor, and a passageway, neatly arranged but modest. Most significantly, in Tomb Number 1, archaeologists found a tomb inscription stele. Though badly corroded from years of water exposure and with most of the inscription eroded, a line of text in the top right corner was still legible: epitaph of the late Emperor Yang of Sui. These few characters left the archaeologists breathless. Emperor Yang of Sui? Could this unremarkable tomb be the final resting place of the infamous Sui Emperor Yang Guang? The inscription also faintly showed the phrase, 14th year of day, which coincided with the year of his death, 618 AD, according to historical records. A long-standing local legend had claimed that Emperor Yang died in Yangzhou, and there was even a site there historically known as the Tomb of Emperor Yang. Could this newly discovered tomb actually be the legendary Leitang tomb mentioned in historical texts? Although the epitaph pointed to Emperor Yang, the simplicity of the tomb left experts puzzled. Why would an emperor's resting place be so humble? To confirm the identity of the tomb's occupant, the archaeological team continued excavating, hoping the burial items would offer more clues. Soon, a finely crafted jade belt emerged from the soil. Composed of 13 jade plaques, with gold inlaid belt buckles and loops on the reverse side, the belt was exquisitely made. Jade belts were exclusive ornaments for officials during the Sui and Tang periods, and one with 13 plaques was particularly significant. According to historical records, only emperors were entitled to wear such belts. The discovery of this jade belt further strengthened the experts' belief that the occupant of Tomb Number 1 was indeed Emperor Yang. Another striking artifact was a bronze jia, a ritual wine vessel, gilded and standing about 26 centimeters tall. Elegant in form and meticulously crafted, the jia was a ceremonial object typically used in palace rituals or major state events, well beyond the reach of ordinary nobles. The team also unearthed terracotta figurines representing civil and military officials. After all, who but an emperor would be buried with ceramic effigies of his entire court? These high-spec funerary items all pointed unmistakably to someone of royal status. Yet, regrettably, the complete remains of the tomb's occupant were never found. As the excavation drew to a close, only 2 teeth were recovered. Physical anthropologists from Nanjing University tested the teeth on site and confirmed they belonged to a man around 50 years old, matching the historical account of Emperor Yang's age at death. While the evidence increasingly aligned, the absence of a complete skeleton meant further research was still needed for a definitive conclusion. Emperor Yang of Sui, Yang Guang, was the second emperor of the Sui dynasty. During his reign, he undertook massive construction projects, excavated the Grand Canal, and launched repeated military campaigns against Goguryeo, which drained national resources and incited widespread resentment. In 618 AD, while on a tour in Jiangdu, modern-day Yangzhou, he was killed in a coup by mutinous soldiers led by his general Unearthed. Historical records state he was strangled with a length of white silk, a tragic and humiliating death. Due to his violent demise, Emperor Yang's burial was fraught with complications. According to the Book of Sui, after his death, Empress Xiao and palace attendants hastily built a crude coffin out of 7-foot planks and buried him near Luzhu Hall in the Jiangdu Palace complex. Luzhu Hall was part of his traveling palace in Yangzhou, located near today's Guanyin Mountain. Shortly afterward, Yuan Huaji's forces left Jiangdu. A loyal Sui general named Qianlong, who had remained in the area, relocated Emperor Yang's remains to Wugong Terrace, his first reburial. In 622 AD, Emperor Gaozu of Tang, Li Yuan, ordered yet another reburial, transferring Yang Guang's remains to Leitang. The location of Leitang closely matches the site of the newly discovered tomb in Caozhuang village. Further records state that in 648 AD, when Empress Xiao passed away, Tang Emperor Taizong, Li Shimin, ordered her remains to be sent to Jiangdu for joint burial with Yang Guang. This perfectly matches the dual-chamber structure of the Caozhuang tomb. But why was Emperor Yang's tomb so modest? Experts suggest that the humid soil conditions in southern China made deep tomb excavation impractical, naturally limiting the size. Additionally, as a deposed ruler who died tragically, Yang Guang's tomb could not rival those of emperors who died in glory. Nevertheless, the tomb inscription, jade belt, and other high-grade artifacts still mark it as exceptional. To further verify the tomb's nature, archaeologists turned their attention to tomb number 2. If the second chamber belonged to Empress Xiao, it would not only confirm Emperor Yang as the occupant of tomb number 1, but also prove that this was the Leitang tomb of historical record. In August 2013, excavation of tomb number 2 officially began. This chamber, shaped like a waste drum, was a brick tomb measuring 12.64 meters in length, 5.9 meters in width, and with a remaining height of 1.6 meters. The structure was orderly, with 3 small niches each along the east, west, and north walls. During cleaning, the team discovered over 100 burial artifacts, including pottery, porcelain, lacquerware, and figurines, an astonishing number and of exquisite craftsmanship. Among them, a celadone inkstone shaped like a jade goose was particularly eye-catching. Elegant in form and mirror-smooth, the inkstone reflected the cultural refinement of its owner. Another standout item was a white jade zhang, a ceremonial jade blade historically used by emperors for sacrifices or royal processions. Such high-level ritual items would be beyond the reach of ordinary queens or princes. Additionally, the team found 16 bronze chime bells arranged in upper and lower sets, the first such set from the Sui-Tang period discovered since the Shang and Zhou dynasties, further affirming the tomb owner's royal status. The most exciting discovery was found on the 3rd level of the tomb, a phoenix crown, wrapped in soil, quietly resting in the burial chamber. Though it looked like a clump of earth due to soil corrosion, its intricate structure was still discernible. The phoenix crown was a ceremonial headpiece exclusively for empresses, and such an ancient and well-preserved example had never been found before in archaeological records. This discovery strongly supports the identification of the tomb's occupant as an empress. At the same time, the archaeological team uncovered relatively intact human remains in the tomb. Anthropological examination confirmed that the bones belonged to a woman over 56 years old and approximately 1.5 meters tall. Based on the tomb structure and historical records, experts preliminarily concluded that the tomb belonged to Empress Xiao. The discovery of the phoenix crown was undoubtedly the highlight of the excavation. However, due to the acidic soil of Yangzhou, the crown was severely corroded and could not be directly removed. The team decided to first clean other artifacts and develop a detailed preservation plan for the crown. Eventually, the phoenix crown, along with the brick base beneath it, was carefully packaged and sent to a laboratory for restoration. With the joint efforts of the Yangzhou Institute of Cultural Relics and Archaeology and the Shaanxi Provincial Institute of Cultural Heritage Preservation, restoration work on the crown began in earnest. X-ray scans revealed that the crown's framework consisted of 2 thin, crossed beams and 3 circular bands. Atop the crown stood 13 floral trees, adorned with 166 petals and 33 flower stamens. The back featured 12 teardrop-shaped ornaments made from gold, copper, white jade, and other materials, 10 in total, crafted using 12 different techniques such as hammering, filigree, and inlay. The result was a crown of extraordinary complexity and beauty. Interestingly, ordinary phoenix crowns typically have 12 floral trees, but Empress Xiao's had 13. Experts speculate that this crown may have been specially commissioned by Emperor Taizong of the Qing Dynasty as a burial item, with the 13 floral trees symbolizing the Sui dynasty's unique status and showing his respect for her. The restoration process was exceptionally challenging. While the crown's metal structure remained intact, delicate parts such as flower stems and petals were often stuck together and prone to breakage with even the slightest mishandling. Experts decided not to clean it entirely, preserving some of the soil to help protect the artifact. Meanwhile, a replica was commissioned for display purposes. Over 900 days, artisans meticulously handcrafted more than 200 floral ornaments to faithfully recreate the original. In the end, the replica phoenix crown was unveiled in all its splendor, as if reviving the pinnacle of Sui Tang craftsmanship. When it comes to Empress Xiao, she is undoubtedly the central figure of this tomb. Historical records describe her as a stunning beauty with remarkable talent, often portrayed in folklore as a legendary woman entangled with 5 emperors during turbulent times. But what was her real life like? Empress Xiao was born in 567 AD into the imperial family of the southern Liang dynasty and was a descendant of Emperor Wu of Liang, Xiao Yan. Her mother was Empress Zhang, and the family was prestigious. However, being born in the 2nd lunar month, considered inauspicious in Jiangnan customs, she was raised by her uncles due to superstitions. Her childhood was marked by hardship. In 581, Emperor Wen of Sui, Yang Jian, arranged for his son Yang Guang to marry Xiao in a political alliance with the southern Liang. At the time, she was 15, and Yang Guang was 17. After marriage, Empress Xiao's intelligence and grace quickly won Yang Guang's favor. She bore him 3 sons and a daughter and was later officially crowned empress. Even in her 40s, she retained her elegance, and Yang Guang's affection for her remained undiminished. However, Yang Guang's tyrannical rule plunged the country into chaos. In 618, he was killed in Jiangdu by the warlord Yuan Huaji, marking the beginning of Empress Xiao's life of exile. After proclaiming himself emperor, Yuan Huaji took Empress Xiao for himself. Soon, Dou Jianda, leader of rebel forces in Hebei, defeated Yuan and took Empress Xiao into his harem. Though over 50 years old, Dou was reportedly captivated by her at first sight. Later, Princess Yicheng of the Eastern Turkic Khaganate, Emperor Yang's sister, learned of Empress Xiao's whereabouts and requested the Turkic Khan Chuluo to ransom her. Dou, intimidated by Turkic power, released her. Unexpectedly, Chuluo Khan, too, was charmed by Empress Xiao and made her his consort. Upon his death, following Turkic customs, she became the wife of his brother, Ilig Khagan. In 630 AD, Tang General Li Jing defeated the Turks and brought Empress Xiao back to Chang'an. She was then 64 years old. Emperor Taizong Li Shimin treated her with great respect, giving her the title Zhaorong and ensuring a peaceful retirement. Her daughter was made a concubine in the Tang court, and her two brothers were given high-ranking positions. Empress Xiao passed away in 647 at the age of 81. Li Shimin posthumously restored her title as empress and sent high-ranking officials to escort her remains to Jiangdu, where she was buried alongside Emperor Yang. In unofficial histories, Empress Xiao is said to have been involved with 6 emperors, the 6th being Li Shimin. This claim stems from the title, Zhaorong, and the elaborate burial given to her by the Tang Emperor. Some speculate that the 33-year-old Li Shimin may have been infatuated with the 64-year-old Empress Xiao. However, no official records support this idea. By blood and marriage, Li Shimin was both a nephew and son-in-law of Emperor Yang, making Empress Xiao his aunt-in-law. Given their age difference and familial ties, the claim of her being linked to a 6th emperor seems to be more myth than fact. Experts believe that Li Shimin honored Empress Xiao out of both political and personal reasons. Her noble southern Liang lineage helped win over Jiangnan aristocrats, and her tragic life may have moved him. The title, Zhaorong, itself carries connotations of sorrow and compassion, possibly reflecting his sympathy for her suffering. The phoenix crown unearthed from tomb number 2 is considered a masterpiece of Suitang craftsmanship. More than a symbol of Empress Xiao's status, it also embodies the respect and mourning Li Shimin held for her. It's likely the crown was not worn during her lifetime but was crafted specifically as a burial object. The inclusion of 13 floral trees, more than the usual number for an empress, suggests a tribute that transcended conventional honors for a truly remarkable woman. Today, this phoenix crown silently recounts her life's glories and sorrows, bearing witness to the rise and fall of an era. This is History and Culture channel. Like and subscribe are the biggest help and support for us. Thank you everyone. See you next time.